we can go onto private land in Scotland, and not just go onto private land, we can go onto private land in Scotland and fly a drone, right? I'm pretty sure you can't do that in England or Wales, and I don't think you can do it in Northern Ireland either, right? But you can in Scotland, and there are certain rules allow you to do that. And a lot of people do take a weekend trip, sometimes a week, sometimes more, trip to Scotland with drones, and will visit places up in the Highlands and the Isle of Skye and maybe here in the Lowlands too, with their drones. And a lot of people are probably wondering, can I fly my drone? In England, we can't fly in private land. We can only take off on public land, and we can fly over private land. What can we do in Scotland? So I thought I'd speak about it tonight, just for a little while, right? Just for anyone who's thinking about coming to Scotland. And even if you're not, you might want to think about it, because even if it's just for a weekend, the freedoms that you have here to fly your drone are much, much wider and much better than the restrictions that you have in England and Wales and Northern Ireland, I believe. So I'm going to show you a little bit of legislation so that you can take a note of the page and then look it for yourself. But I will give you a summary or a synopsis of what the Act actually says, right? But I'll leave it here for you so you can go and look at every single section of it. So first of all, what I will show you here is, this is the Scottish Outdoor Access Code. Now, it's only a code, it's not law, but it pertains to a particular law, which we'll come on to in a second, right? The Scottish Outdoor Access Code came into effect in 2005, right? It says everyone has a right to be on most land. There are exceptions, things like gardens, tennis courts, golf courses, farmland that has been recently sown, and a few other places, right? But you're allowed to go on most land and inland water for recreation, education, and for going from place to place, provided they act responsibly, right? So that came in 2005, and it came in because of the Land Reform Scotland Act 2003. Now that's I'll put that into the chat now, because it's quite a lot. I don't know if Mark can type that. I could copy it, but I'll copy that and put that into the chat so you can go and look for it yourself, right? The Land Reform Scotland. But here's I'm not going to go through it all because it's huge, right? It's absolutely massive. But basically what it says is, everyone in Scotland, and that's whether you're a resident of Scotland or not, even if you're a visitor, everyone has the statutory rights established by this part of the Act. Those rights are the right to be for any of the purposes set out here, and I'll come to them in a minute. You're allowed to be on the land and have the right to cross the land, okay? But you're only allowed to be on it for recreational purposes, right? Or for the purpose of carrying out a relevant educational activity, or for the purposes of carrying on commercial or for profit and activity, which you could do without, for not commercial or for profit. Excuse me. What is a relevant educational activity? Right, you're going to go on recreationally to fly your drone, right? But let's suppose you say, no, I'm here for education. What is that? It's to further your understanding of Scotland's, it doesn't say, but it's Scotland's natural or cultural heritage, or enabling or assisting other persons by the videos you are taking with your drone to further other persons' understanding of Scottish natural or cultural heritage. Actions are actually above drones, below submarines, I suppose, as well as on the surface of land. There are exceptions, right? The exceptions are all listed in section 6, which is the next page, and I'm not going to get into that. But the exceptions are, I mentioned a few of them. Sports grounds, you're not allowed to go on, right, and fly a drone and just stand there, or even cross. Tennis courts, people's gardens, schools, you're not allowed to go on and fly a drone on there, and fields that have just newly sown, and there's somewhere else that anywhere where they're digging for minerals, right? So coal mines, quarries, diamond mines, gold mines, iron mines, you're not allowed to go in there either, right? For digging for minerals. all of the exceptions are listed, and it's got a great section in there. I urge you, if you're coming to Scotland, or if you live in Scotland and you're not sure, I urge you to go in and read, because there's a whole section about bylaws and how bylaws have to be used. They can't just say there's a bylaw here. And also about signage, putting notices up, right? Whether that is actually legal and lawful or not. That's all in this act. So I urge you to go and read that if you're coming to Scotland. But trust me, when I give you the summary, is that if you're going to fly your drone in Scotland, you can go anywhere other than those places I just listed: quarries, farmers' fields that have just been sown, etc., etc., gardens. You can go anywhere and fly your drone anywhere in Scotland, even private land. So Glaisnock House, and that's why I wanted to tie these two together. Glaisnock House is a privately owned place, and so are all the grounds and the stables that are there, although they're all abandoned and overgrown now. But you can go there and fly your drone. It's recreational and it's educational too.